Okay, let's have some fun. This will also be really useful for you as a network marketer, and that is let's run through the three types of network marketer that there are in existence. Everyone's in one of these three categories. Let's see which one sounds like you and how you can use that type to best progress your results, which is what you came here for, right? You want to get better results. I'm here to teach you how to do that. So let's take a look. So number one is fear-based. Okay, these are people that barely scraped into the business in the first place. Took them forever to make a decision, asked a million questions. They're always looking for a reason not to do something, right? Have you ever noticed that? You give some people, I remember hearing a quote once, you could give someone a gold bar worth millions, drop it on their toe, and they'll sue you for it. You know what I mean? It's like you're giving them a gift and they're still like, oh, it was a terrible day, my toe got hurt. Yeah, but you're a millionaire. Yeah, but my toe got hurt. They're always focused on the fear and the negativity. And what happens with these network marketers is you tend to attract what you are. So if you're in a situation right now where you say, you know what, I'm always seeming to attract people that take forever to make a decision, that don't want to invest in themselves, that are always like, what if it doesn't work? What if it does? Yeah, but what if it doesn't, right? If they're that kind of person, ask yourself, is that your really default mindset? Like, is that really the type that you are right now? And the good news is we can progress through these, but if right now you're fear-based, probably going to attract other fear-based people because like attracts like when it comes to people, right? People congregate in gangs, in groups, they attract like-minded people. So the number one thing you can do right now to stop engaging with that type of person or attracting them and for you to progress is to start to make more decisions based off of hope, desire, and we're going to get to outcome as opposed to fear. Because things can always go wrong. There is no guarantee in life but death. So if we're looking for guarantees before we act, we're never going to act. You'll know if you're fear-based because every time somebody offers you something, tries to tell you to give you help, you'll look for the reason, well, what's in it for them? They're only trying to sell me a course because they're going to make money. I've done this before, it's never worked before. People like me don't get this result. That person must have been lucky. If you've got that kind of mindset, you need to fix it or quit because you'll never go anywhere. Okay. Number two, these are the water treaders. These are the most common. These are the most common. Most people, if you're honest, with a little bit of personal development, because I used to be fear-based, most people with a bit of personal development kind of look at themselves and go, thinking a bit stupidly there. That's not serving me. Okay, I may be right that this is hard, this is whatever, but how's that actually helping me in my life? It's not. So I want to actually progress. I've got things like I have a wife and a daughter. It's important for me to give them a great life, I thought, when I first started network marketing. So, I want to progress. And progressing through these types took me from 328 no's to over 700 people I personally sponsor. So this stuff definitely works. I became a water treader. Maybe you are too. This is the largest group. These make me laugh. These are all, they put so much effort into putting like a facade on that they never actually go anywhere because there's nothing left to progress with. Like I always tell my daughter, I was on a walk with her today. I'm pointing over there because that's where the fields are where we walk. We're lucky enough to live in the countryside. I was telling her, I said, you've only got a certain amount of a battery per day. We need to sleep every night, right, and recharge. So where we choose to put that battery is very important. It's the most precious thing that we have. I'm teaching her about time management, right? So I said it's important where we put it. So if we're going to complain about other people, make excuses, blah, 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 that's fine, but understand there is very little going to be left for you to actually progress. So what's smarter? Complaining, cajoling, or doing something about improving your life? So this is what water traders need to hear. Because they're all, how's business? Business is amazing. Wow, okay, I was just making casual conversation. It's fantastic. We're in the best business model in the world. We've got a secret genome nutritional leaf from the jungle that comes from a baboon's armpit, and if you drink it, it'll take 20 years off your life. Your hair will grow back, your warts will drop off, you'll grow a foot taller, and it's like the Limitless pill from the film. What's his name now? I can't remember his name. If you know the guy, put his name, I can see his face. He's the guy who just did the duet with Lady Gaga, wasn't he? I can't remember his name. Put it in the comments. That Limitless film. And, he takes a pill and he's just like this super duper human person, right? They're always making out that that's what their business and that's what their like is. I've got a full diary. My diary is chock-a-block. Oh, okay. Have you actually made any money? Well, yeah, I've got a coach. I don't need any help. Oh, okay, cool, no problem. I hear that all the time. I'm part of this business that's doing $75 gazillion. Yeah, but how much of it is in your account? That's irrelevant. Not really. Like, go to your mortgage company and say, I'm partnered with a company that's making a lot of money. Can we lend their profits? They're going to go, no, it's what's in your account that we're going to take, right? So water traders are putting so much time and effort in, like, the facade they build on social media about their business. They're always trying to look at everybody else, what everybody else is doing. They're just keeping their head above water, right? So don't be a water trader, because at the end of the day, it's worse than being fear-based. Because at least a fear-based person feels right in what they're doing, right? They're miserable and they're unhappy, but at least they're like, I'm right at the end of the day. A water trader, what does a water trader do? A water trader goes, how on earth am I still in the same damn spot when I put so much effort in? It's exhausting. Imagine treading water for 24 hours. I don't know if it's possible. You're exhausted and you're still in the same spot. The tide took you wherever it wanted to. You're like, starts all over again. So we don't want to be a water trader. How can we progress from those two? We can progress by becoming outcome driven. Outcome driven. Stop looking at your opinion and start looking at the blooming facts. I mean, you can be right and miserable, or you can be wrong and progress and be happy. This is often the task that we're met with, and it's very hard. I think people tend to stick around in these two groups like I did for a while, because we don't want to admit that we're choosing our own misery, do we? We want to try and find some external reason why things are tough for us, why it's hard for us, why we can't possibly have done better because it was outside of our control. And it's a very painful, bitter pill to swallow, to suddenly hold your hand up and say, I could have done better. I have got the means to do that. I have got the information. I could buy a program. I could get a coach. I could improve myself. But you know what? It's hard. I'm afraid. And that means I'm choosing, if I don't do it, I'm choosing to stay in this position which I don't like. That's the number one reason people are negative about your network marketing business. Because it shines a light on their future and their present situation and says, there is an alternative, and if they accept it and aren't brave enough to join you, they have to say, well, now I'm choosing my misery. So we all do this. We all have this quality. The avoidance of pain after survival is the number one human driver. So it's painful to accept that we are choosing our misery. So we avoid it. We deflect it by treading water. Well, I am working as hard as I can, so it's not my fault. Or we're fear-based. Well, there was no real opportunity anyway because it wouldn't work anyway. So we try and address it externally. Now, if we become outcome-driven and we leave our own head out of it, because let's face it, we don't know what we don't know, then we can start to progress better because we can say, let's look at the facts. If we look at our business factually, I always do this, like a bird's eye view. If you look down on your business and say, if there was a camera over your shoulder for the last 24 hours, would you be happy with me taking a look at the work that you've done? You don't have to take it to the bathroom or anything like that. I'm just saying, like the work that you did, the time that you had available, would you be happy with that? Would you say, you know what, the work I did, super effective. I focused on improving my skill set in my weak areas. I've got a coach to guide me. I'm generating quality leads or working on that. I'm working on my conversions. I'm putting myself out there and growing myself as a person. Or would you say I stuck to the kind of things that were the comfiest, the simplest, and I didn't really actively look for a solution? That's what most people fall into. So if we look at the facts and the outcome, we say, well, I took this action, what was the outcome? We can now make results and adjustments in a non-emotional way. So there's always an outcome. If you do nothing today on your business, the outcome is you did nothing on your business. Time is a constant, so there is always an outcome, even if it was you did nothing. Can you see how doing nothing is still doing something? Because what did you do today? Well, I sat and did nothing. Well, you didn't die and become alive again at the end of the day. So you did something. Do you get that? So outcome driven. So what we do is we take an action, we look at the outcome, and then we make an adjustment. Okay? These are the people that thrive. Why? Because they stick to the facts. They're driven by passion, but they don't allow their emotion to change what is right in front of them. Okay? So if you can try and think about that, right? I want you from here on out every single day to think back over the last 24 hours, think about the results, the outcome that you got, and think about what is one adjustment you could make to improve the outcome that you got. Just that simple exercise will start to move you through this process, because the more you do it, the better you'll get. Because if you start to say at the end of today, I kind of wasted a bunch of time today. Well, why did you waste it? You never asked yourself that question. Well, why did I waste the time? Well, I was busy. How busy was I really? Well, I suppose I could have had more time, but I was stressed out. What are you stressed out about? I'm stressed out of my lack of results. Why have you got a lack of results? Well, I don't really know how to generate leads. Well, what have you done to fix that? Well, I haven't. I've just kind of bounced around with a bit of free content. And have I got a coach? No. Have I bought a course? No. Have I actually reached out and asked somebody for help whose video or podcast I've watched or listened to? No. So you've got a situation that you haven't tried to solve. Yes. Okay, so what's an adjustment I could make? Well, tomorrow I can actually message 5 people about this problem, or I can buy a program of theirs, or I can ask if they can coach me, or I can something, right? You're going to come up with some ideas. You can make that adjustment now 48 hours from now, right? Where are you at? Way further than you were for the past maybe 6 months. Because one person may react to you and say, I'll happily give you some advice. Here it is. And you go, my goodness, I can't believe it, that was easy. But you never asked the right questions because you were too much in your head. There is no opportunity. They won't help me anyway. They'll just try and sell me something. Or I'm already doing everything I can. There can't be any different approach available. Rubbish. Okay? Rubbish. So, did that help? I hope it did. Let's become more outcome driven. Let's evaluate those outcomes and make one significant improvement every day. And if you do that, little by little, this is the way I built up my YouTube channel. And my videos used to be terrible. Some of you watching are going, oh, they still are. Hopefully not. Hopefully, I mean, I get really good engagement. I make good money from YouTube as well. From people watching this content and going off and buying my products and stuff like that. So it works for my business. But the way in which I got at least, I would say, adequate and at least to be able to deliver a clear message to you is in 2 ways. Every single day, I ask myself, what could I do to improve my skill set? I didn't want to be someone that could just market themselves better than actually than the reality. I didn't want to be really good at YouTube videos and be able to get you excited about stuff and then not be able to deliver. So I was like, I'm going to master my craft. I'm going to learn about what it takes to be a successful network marketer. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to teach other people, and then I'll share that message with others because I'm going to feel confident that that's actually what's going to work. So I started to master my craft, took huge action every day. What can I do to improve my success as a network marketer and as a network marketing coach? And then number 2, I looked at one way I could improve every video that I did. So my first video was kind of like that. So I was like, okay, next time, don't think about anything else. Just be overly enthusiastic, and on camera, that's going to look normal. And it did. Next thing. Oh, well, Richard, you know, you missed out a couple of points. Well, why don't you start taking a couple of notes so you're prepared? Okay, I'll do that. So video by video by video, I was able to watch it back and say, what's the biggest mistake I made? Well, I was so lackluster. Just get more energy, Richard. That will be the first thing to do. And I went over and over like that until I got to a level where I'm like, okay, now you're doing well. Let's look at some other skills that would add to that video or podcast or whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, so this works. It makes significant improvements over time, because as you start to scratch the surface and get good at looking at these outcomes and adjustments, eventually it's like digging for treasure. You get down there and you find the real good stuff that makes a huge difference. And if you've got a coach with you, they can probably help you, give you a shovel to get there quicker. So did that help? Was it useful? I hope so. If you find my training useful, if you like it, you can go to richardmatheru.com. That's obviously my website. It'd be weird, someone else having my name as a website, right? So that's my website. There's years worth of free content over there, a bunch of resources, bunch of training, even my paid products if you want to take a look at those if you're ready for that step. Regardless, you'll get a lot of value over there, so I hope to see you over there soon. As always, go create a day in a life that counts. Always have more desires and excuses, and if you're a subscriber, I'll catch you on the next one. Whatever you're doing, have a fantastic day, and bye for now.